TSN.
Melody Savage, Kimberley Green. They will become our second finalist. One of them will hook up against Erin Quinn for this year's Women's 10-Pin Championship. And Melody is off to a good start with 2 marks, a strike and a spare up. Kim Green with a spare and an open 9 count, sits at 27 through 2.
Melody's got the ball turned over a little bit more than that shot than she wanted to right at the start. She when he started the motion going with her arm, she had the ball turned up a little bit more on the right-hand side. You'll see it right there. And then as she's coming through here, she doesn't follow through quite as straight as she wants. She got to stay behind the ball a little more. And she knew that as soon as she let go of that bowling ball. Now watch, she puts her fingers in the inserts, sets the ball up, cradles it. There's where her arm is right on her hip. Pushes the ball out, down, up, and now going for a beautiful cover on the
Very nice to drive it through.
So we're talking about the accuracy, and here's accuracy. Right over top of that third arrow, drives the ball straight into the back, picks up the 8-pin on the back row. That's what she was shooting for. Kimberley Green right here.
But you know something, you think about that spare that Melody just got. If we get to the end of the game and she wins by just those couple of pins, that may well be the difference as Kim Green picks up her first strike.
Watch this ball now. The left-hander going right over the corner there, reaching out, bending down, following through. See the rotation? Beautiful. That's what makes the pins hit the kickbacks, the sides, slides them all over the place. As a result, you get the strike.
Savage leading by 10, but it's Kimberley Green trying to put back-to-back strikes on the board, and that is ugly.
Well, that is an ugly split. And she's got the 6-pin over on the right-hand side, and that's the one she's going to have to go for. You've got a bowl for the closest pin to you, and you notice there's 2 pins laying in the channel over there, but didn't touch the 6-pin. She crouches down a little bit at the style that she uses, and she went for it, rightfully so. You know, we've talked a lot about golf, the swing in golf, the follow through. Even in tennis, you have the sweet spot in tennis. You have the shafts that have changed so much in the game of golf. Bowling balls and equipment have changed. And the same thing I would imagine in curling game. Have you ever seen a 8-hander in the curling? Ever played in it or watched it?
No, I've never seen one. No, I mean that's pretty close to the perfect game, I think, just because you would think the other opposition could get rid of some stone, but
now that would have to be frustrating if you happen to see that, and that would be like watching.
More frustrating if it happens against you.
Right. Be beautiful to do it.
Yeah.
Well done. Covered the spare there, the 10-pin, not a doubt in the world. Melody from Manitoba bowls at Chateau Lanes in Winnipeg, 207 average.
Interesting, last time we saw both these bowlers was 2 years ago, and in the championship, Kimberley lost in a preliminary, and Melody, of course, won the championship. So looking for her second women's 10-pin title.
Bowled a perfect game in 1999. Outside and narrow on the head pin, didn't hit it at all, hardly just about missed it.
Now is this sparable?
Well, it is, and you need to make the exact same kind of a shot that Carrie Ryan Kayak made, where she fits the ball right in between. Can't go for the left-hand pair. You need to hit the ball right in there. If you hit the ball in the center, it will happen. It's not easy by any stretch.
And then the 4 goes back and gets the 7?
4 will take out the 7.
Nope. So that's her first open. And it comes in the 5th.
In the 5th frame, and she actually left up a couple of pins there, which is unfortunate. Now again, this match can switch around so quickly.
But again, looking at Kimberley's card, she has an open. She's working on an open, so maybe not as for Melody Savage.
Well, it'll tighten it up a little bit if we have a spare here. Then all of a sudden it becomes a 73 potential to an 81. 9-pin left up in the back row. Most good bowlers, right-handed or left-handed, you'll see them. The right-handers will leave up the 8-pin, the 7-pin for the left-handers, and now here you see the 9-pin left up for left-handers. She covered that, hit it a couple of times as the ball went through.
Kimberley, who is a bookkeeper for Bookkeeping and More.
More what? Listen, that's the same kind of thing. I've been told that if you retire and you're busy doing nothing, how do you know when you're finished?
Oh, that's true. Now, it's interesting, she, being a left-hander, throws it right by the head pin. We saw that also from Melody on the other side.
And you'll have to see it covered the exact same way because the ball has to go straight through. In this particular case, hit the right-hand side, hopefully for that front pin there, and carry right on back through to the back pin.
Nicely done.
She actually covered it quite well. She covered it both ways. The ball was going back and picking up the pin. Watch the poise here. And this just shows you somebody that's bowled a lot, very comfortable, didn't pull the ball, didn't tug on it. And the pin just went right straight back through. Not a doubt. So both of them have made the exact same spare on the opposite side for each other.
Melody Savage now trying to get something going after her open, her 8 count in 5.
There's an 11-pin lead at the moment.
Oof.
Wow.
Wow.
That was a solid hit. A wraparound 10-pin down at the other end. Watch all this action down here. You just see it. That 6-pin went right around. Instead of going back a little bit slower, would have given her the action.
And it will for the spare in 6.
I'm so pleased to see that none of them are missing these spare shots now. They're actually hitting them. In the practice rounds that we allowed them to do when they were taking the extra shots, you had talked about it. A couple of 3 of them lined up. All they did was shoot the spare shot, and that would be the corner pins. Taking a little bit of time here because they know that this is so close. Out, down, bend, and reach right over. Whip this one through.
There it is. Nice.
Well done.
Her first strike since the opening frame for Melody Savage. Well, you know, you talk about practice. Same thing applies in curling as well. The elite teams, when they get on the ice and they practice before their big games, and whether it be a women's or men's championship, they can all play the big weight takeout. It's the subtle shots, the draw shots, the ones that will mean something. That's what they practice the most. You rarely see anybody play a takeout anymore in practice.
You know, when they're doing the hit and run game, is that basically just more speed that makes it happen? Is that what they try to do?
Well, yeah. I mean, it all. Again, there are similarities here. Where does your strength come from? Your thighs, your legs, and
right.
you have a push-off leg, and that's where your speed comes from. People think it's from actually throwing it, but it's not. It's all from the drive leg. So a good spare by Kim Green, but advantage right now is to Melody Savage.
Because of the strike up there, then she picked up another pin. So Melody watching and concentrating on the floor, taking a look, trying to keep herself calm, cool, and hopefully she, in her mind, collected for the money coming up.
It's calm, cool, and collect.
I know, but collected sounds better because she's trying to collect $10,000 bucks. Maybe she'll go out and bet on a horse or something like that. Who knows? Here we go with a corner pin again.
It's been tough for her, the corners, eh? She's seen a lot of them. And as you say, that's just the way it is for the left-hander. That's going to be the one that's always standing.
Well, you're so close, and you're not going to be close on this one.
That hurts. That is an inopportune mistake. That's an unforced error and an opening there. A 9 count in 8, 117. Not when you want it.
Open the fourth for Kimberley in there, and now she's up here ready to try and jump all over this thing. Melody is ready to get the strike here. She's got a strike. Kimberley had 2 opens, actually, the 4th and the 8th. This is the killer ball that she's looking for.
And again, we've pointed out over the weeks, the good ones do that. They just see it, they smell it, and they go bam.
Well, there's not any doubt in this particular shot. It just went right down there and just executed. You can see the action, and she's ready to get. She gets another strike in here. She's putting herself into a superb position, because the most that Kim can get is 177. And that's the game right there, folks.
It's timing, and she manages to put a string of 3 strikes together.
Well, Melody had an open in the 5th. On the other hand, Kim had an open in the 4th and the 8th. Unfortunately for her, she's just a little bit light on this one again. Unfortunately for Kim Green, she wasn't able to put the strikes together, and you do need that. Kim has had a total of 11 spares. She's had 4 strikes and had 3 opens, and her opponent Melody has had 13 strikes, 14 spares. That's what we talked about. All the spares coming into the action.
Yeah, just untimely opens for Kim Green, as it comes apart for her now in the 9th. But she'll take home the $2,000, and Melody Savage will play for the $10,000 against Erin Quinn.
So we will have Manitoba versus Alberta. Single pin to shoot at. She knows that the match is over, so she's going to be content with taking home some of the money back to British Columbia. It is so nice to be able to pay out this kind of money for the bowling game, because I can remember you wouldn't get that kind of money total for the whole year.
Disappointing nonetheless for somebody like Kim Green, who has been a runner-up on TSN back in 2005 to 2006 season of the Pins game. This will bring her TV earnings to more than $13,000 as she bowls a 142.
Melody had a 191 and a 212, and right now she's on a higher pace than that if she gets another strike, or even a good mark. Potential of 221. Her opponent that she will face, Alberta's Erin Quinn, had a 203 and a 214. That's as good as you can actually do without getting a strike. That was a well-executed ball. She has a potential now of 200. Has the game in hand.
She averages 207 at her bowling centers in Winnipeg. And that's just dropping the ball, a little mindset there, as Melody Savage will finish at 188. And she advances now to the final and will meet Erin Quinn. The final when we come back.